What's going on YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg or Chris, and today I'm back with another Meta Deck Monday. And I just want to preface, I'm going to be recording a few videos in a row, like over the course of Saturday and Sunday, because I'm actually going to be out for the week. So, I mean, a lot of these decks may change over the course of the week. Like, this is the current stall, which I'm going to be running for Meta Deck Monday. This is what seems to be the most common list at the beginning of the week. So, as the decks get farther on in the week, maybe there's a better list that comes out, and I apologize that I might not have the most updated or best list or the best ideas. Maybe like the format changes a little bit because I know Shrouded Fable is still very new. So I am going to be recording a bunch of these videos over the weekend just to get me through Friday. So with that being said, thank you for bearing with me. Anyways, back into today's Meta Deck Monday video, we are going to be playing Snorlax Stall, one of the most annoying decks to take the format by storm, and I still think it's a very underappreciated deck. Like, people still refuse to tech for this deck often, even though it is very annoying, so it's not super hard to pick up a lot of KOs, and a lot of decks right now can't handle just the constant block ability of preventing your opponent's active Pokemon from retreating, since not many decks are running an insane amount of switch cards or Turo Penny, stuff like that. So, Stall is in a very good spot right now, and it does pretty amazing. And against Regidrago, or decks that have just an unholy amount of abilities, like Toedscruel, Regidrago, decks like that, maybe an Arceus deck if you run into that, especially Charizard. Charizard's a big one where it's got a lot of abilities. You could use Cornerstone Ogerpon and just sit behind the Cornerstone stance ability, where you don't take any damage by your opponent's Pokemon that have an ability. So, like Charizard, that's pretty much every Pokemon in the deck, except for maybe Charmanders, Pidgeys, and maybe a Charmeleon, depending on which one they play. We've also got a Mimikyu to sit behind, so if you're playing against a deck like Raging Bolt, you could just sit behind a Mimikyu and a Snorlax and just make them work. Just abuse their Greninja, sit behind a Mimikyu for a little bit, vibe, because they only got a Sandy Shocks in their deck, maybe. Or maybe they play one canceling Cologne, but, we play cards like Night Stretcher just to take Pokemon back. So, if you don't know the premise of Stall, it's pretty much just sitting and waiting for your opponents to deck out. So this video might be a long one, which is going to be a bit of a change from the quicker and more like rage quitty decks I've played in the past few days. This one honestly will get you a lot of rage quits too on the ladder. A lot of people just aren't going to want to care to play against Stall. So it's definitely not a bad card to run right now, and that's weird. The only card that looks super blurry is actually Snorlax. Even the game doesn't want to load Stall, so that's kind of odd. Other cards that really help this deck, in case no one's really seen it before, you got Erika's Invitation to pull a basic Pokemon out of your opponent's hand into play. So if we see them Ultra Ball or like use a Great Ball or something and put something in their hand and not get rid of it, we could use Erika's Invitation. We play Accompanying Flute to look at the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck and put basic Pokemon in play. So, we could find Pokemon like Greninja, Manaphy, and decks that can't use them as attackers and just sit behind those. Maybe if they're playing Jirachi. Like the single prize Jirachi that stops Sableye. Those are all cards we can kind of chase down. We're playing the new Xerosic Machinations or Machination. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna butcher how to say that all day. This is the first deck I'm playing with this new card that came out in Shrouded Fable. It seems to be the new big buff to Stall, and your opponent discards cards into their hand until they have 3 remaining. So, if they draw like a whole bunch of cards in their hand, we could just tell them to cut it back down. We're also playing 3 copies of Penny to loop cards like Bravery, Charm, and Hero's Cape, which is going to be our A-spec for the deck. Overall, Stall has an insane amount of tools and partners for it. I think this deck is in a very solid spot right now. Definitely one of the more common decks that's taken down a lot of the tournaments since Shrouded Fable has been released, or at least like in the top 8 on some notably like bigger tournaments. And I think Stall has even like won a couple, which is impressive. So I'm excited to play for this Meta Decks Monday. If you don't know, I actually played Stall to Hartford Regionals in 2023 before pretty much any of these cards were printed, and it wasn't really good then. No one really knew what it did, but I've been playing Stall for a super long time, and I'm very excited to make my own video on it, even though now it's become some abusive thing that no one wants to see. I have a small place in my heart for Stall, so I'm gonna bring it on the ladder today, and I'm gonna see if I can go 3-0 with Snorlax block Stall. Welcome to match number 1, where I don't know what we're playing against, but I see Bidoof, and what that means is I'm chasing it down. So as long as we can get another Pokemon in play and just make Counter Catcher live, this could be a very, very straightforward match. I'm curious to see what our opponent is playing and if they've got a solid way to get out of this. You know what? They got Pidgeot, Rotom, Bidoof. Those are all cards I really don't mind stalling up because they're not swinging hard. And there's a Fire Energy, so I'm assuming they're playing Charizard, although Pidgeot Control could be a potential option. I just feel like it wouldn't be super likely, so what do we want to do here? Let's gear first. Let's see if we can get an Arven. Perfect. And just, we want Nest Ball. Actually, first we want to check if Rotom is prized. We really need Rotom to just make sure this deck is going. So I'm going to take Nest Ball. I'm going to look through, and we got Rotom. Okay, so I don't need Heavy Ball. And then for a tool, I can take Forest Heal Stone. I'm not super worried about getting KO'd next turn. I'm not going to play the Forest Heal Stone down until I try to get rid of a Lost Vacuum, but I'll hold on to it for now just to let it vibe. And honestly, most of these turns are going to be very, very slow paced. Like, there's not going to be 100 trillion things we're doing, and that's a Duskull, which honestly, I actually don't really want to see. Because that can do a bit of damage to Snorlax and kind of, you know, force us to take KOs, which makes Iono less powerful for us. So, you know, I don't really want to do that. I'll put the Hero's Cape down now, just see what our opponent is cooking with. Maybe I could hold that, but I don't really see a huge reason to. And I like where we're sitting next turn. I mean, we got Eri, we could dig in their hand, especially if they just instant charge again. And if they, like, shrink their hand down, like, super, super small, sorry, I'm just throwing the music a little bit. If they shrink their hand down super small, I'm thinking, you know, maybe we could just rock an Arven, get another Snorlax out. I don't hate. I mean, this deck thrives once our opponent takes their first prize card, because at that point, we can start using Counter Catcher to bring different things up. So, you know what? As long as this is what they're doing, I think, ooh, we could do this. Just tell them to discard, like, their whole hand. That would be pretty sweet. Let's do it. Let's do the new supporter. I don't have the full arts for it. I'm trying to save some credits. I don't have infinite credits. That being said, if anyone watching this is a store sponsor or something like that and wants to help a brother out, and you know, I don't mind sponsoring a store, any sleeves, but you know, anything to help me get credits, stuff like that, won't say no. But for now, we got a ball on a budget. I'm not going to be able to bling out the cards for now. I got to save some credits because we have a month until the next set. So it's going to be new set after new set for a little bit. And it's going to be pretty hard to, you know, get all the drippy versions of all the cards. And I got to be a little conscious of where these credits are being spent. And I'd rather it be spent on new decks than anything insane. So they are going to get rid of a whole bunch of things. And with that, what do I want to do here? Just instant charge. I don't need anything else. What they get rid of? Yeah, it's definitely Charizard. They had a pretty decent hand. They had a bunch of energy, some Charizard EXs, nothing insane yet. You know, Radiant Charizard hitting the discard pile honestly is kind of nice for our opponent. I would have loved to bring that Pokemon in play because they're not taking many prize cards. We saw they're playing Duskull, so they could take maybe one or two if they actually can take a KO with Dusknoir. But, you know, for the most part, Combustion Blast it's got way too big an attack cost to be used often. So that would have been a nice thing to gust up for sure. They're going to get Beedrill down, and I think that's going to be my primary boss target. And this is kind of just how Stall vibes, you know. Stall's just going to sit here and do nothing. And I've got a question. If anyone in the comments could answer, that would be awesome. Since Shrouded Fable, has anyone else's little tool thing, like, been super buggy? Because I'm sitting here on... Oh, you can't see the graphics. Yeah, I got, like, the highest graphic settings. But for some reason, just a couple cards seem to be falling apart. Or a couple things. Like, before, this little image where the tool was used to be, like, super nice. Now it's, like, a mess, and I don't get it. So we're going to get Iono'd here. We're going to go down to 6, and honestly, that's alright. I mean, we lose Force Seal Stone, but past that, we're fine. And we don't get an insane hand. We do get another Snorlax, which is really all I kind of want. I think that's perfect for us. And I'll hold Artazon, just in case. I don't know what else they'll play, but, I mean, there's plenty of Pokemon we can gust up. If they play something like Collapse Stadium, they can't get rid of Beedrill and Rotom, so we could still make one of those our primary target. But I think for now, honestly, I'll just start setting up this guy. No need to Crushing Hammer yet. I don't mind energy on Pidgeot. I just don't really want it on Charmanders and Charizards. So I'll just instant charge. Love the Cornerstone Ogerpon. Because there's not many cards they have without abilities. So if they fully evolve their whole board after KOing a Snorlax or two, I'll just put down Cornerstone Ogerpon. And we get another Xerosic Machinations. So, you know, we're going to wait for their hand to get a little bit bigger. Maybe if they instant charge again here, you know, we'll just tell them to make that hand a little bit smaller. I don't really like it much this big. So, I'm also not upset if our opponent takes a KO. Even if we lose our ace pick here, that's fine. Because again, once this Counter Catcher is live, and we can start bringing up Rotom or Beedrill, I mean, we're cooking. And they still have all their switch cards. I don't know how many are in the deck, but they still have all of them. So, This new support is cracked, though. I mean, it's just insane how much you can just discard from your opponent's hand. Maybe people are going to start playing, what is it, that one of Moongus? Where, you know, if your card gets discarded, your opponent discards their entire hand. That could be crazy. You know, that could be like a huge way to start dealing with Stall if Stall gets a little too hectic. And I don't mind it either. So they're going to get Rare Candy Charizard here, which is fine. You know, they're swinging with Pidgeot, but if they don't have a way to move Pidgeot this turn, they still can't swing with Charizard. Because even though this Pidgeot has a free retreat, it's not actually doing anything. And they choose to get Dusknoir. Okay, that's interesting. So maybe they'll take a KO on our active. Because they swing 120, and then they could do 130 damage with Curse Blast. So I would assume they just put all of that on the active Snorlax. Yeah, they're just going to get rid of pretty much everything we got, which is a bit annoying. But hey, you know what? This might be one of the first time. I think this is the first time I've ever taken a prize card with Stall, so it's kind of fun. I've never had that happen to me before. And look at that. We get another Snorlax. So I definitely don't hate to see that. I'm also... Oh, you know, it's going to be harder to counter catcher, though, now, because now they got to take 2 prize cards, so that's annoying. It's actually a pretty fun way to counter Stall using Dusknoir. It's a funny way to do it, but, I mean, I like where we're sitting overall. I'm curious if they, what is it, Blustery Wind or something like that? Yeah, Blustery Wind, or what their plan is, because I can Crushing Hammer. I mean, they've gotten rid of a lot of energies. There's 4 energy in play. Charizard usually plays like 6 or 7. And there's another ability Pokemon, and it is the Charmeleon with an ability. So you know what's going to go crazy? This guy. Because if they've got a bunch of abilities in play, Cornerstone's just going to hang out. Just going to see what the vibe is. And I think I'll play it just to threaten it. And then I'll just kind of rock with what's on my board. So they're going to take a big KO here, which is cool. And now our handheld fan is going to go kind of crazy if they start swinging into this Snorlax, because I am just going to start moving energies right on over to that. Between B-Barrel and Rotom, I could put 1 on Rotom. It's not like they can retreat or attack with it. For now, let's bench this guy. Let's play both Crushing Hammers. If I could put 4 energy and discard, that would be awesome. And there's energy number 1. So I'm liking that. Can we go for energy number 2 to get and discard? That would be sweet. Never punished, man. I mean, I just needed to cut 1 or 2 heads, and what did we get? 2 heads. Nice and easy. So it's just instant charge. We got a banger of a hand if our opponent takes 1 more prize card. But I like where we're sitting overall. I think overall we're in a really, really good spot. They're not going to be able to damage Cornerstone Ogerpon easily. They're not going to be able to damage Snorlax easily. We don't have the best supporters to get us through the rest of this, and Counter Catcher is still not live, which we really need. But you know what? For now, we'll make it through. You know, I'm fairly confident going into this match. I don't know how many Switch really any decks play in the new Shrouded Fable format. I'm just kind of going in blind to a bunch of these. And there's 1 Rod. So we weren't able... Honestly, it kind of hurts. We weren't able to get, like, Misfortune Sisters out. But we just... That Iono kind of destroyed our entire hand. We haven't had anything to do since that happened. So, you know what? They're going to evolve into Charizard, play a bunch of energy that we know they got, and from there, we'll see what the play is. I mean, you know, I really don't know if Charizard ever played that many switches. Maybe they have a switch card or 2, plus, okay, there's 1, plus a Turo. Like, I'm not sure. So they're going to put 3 energy onto Charizard, which makes sense. And they're going to collapse Stadium, which won't really matter since their Rotom's still in play. So, like, this is fine. You know, I'm not super worried about this. I'm curious to see if they play Collapse Stadium. Or, excuse me, canceling Cologne. That could make this a little more problematic. But for now, we're going to move this energy onto Rotom. Did they use their Force? Yeah, they did use Force Seal Stone. Okay. And they're going to take a prize card. Counter Catcher is live. And Ogerpon's going to start going crazy. So I like where we're sitting. We're in a decent spot. I'm tempted to save the Xerosic Machinations for a bit. And I think I'm going to. Because we got Pokégear. I kind of want to dig for, like, any other supporter. I'll play... You know, they can retreat, actually, the Rotom. So maybe I just chase down B-Barrel, because it's got a 2 retreat cost. And I did move the energy onto Rotom. So, you know, let's do this. Let's do this. And then we can Pokégear would be the better play. Let's get Arven, because we don't really have any other choice. And what do I want to do with it? I don't really want to Xerosic until they have a bunch of cards in hand. You know, so I think here, what do we want? Crushing Hammer. I don't even hate Force Seal Stoning a Crushing Hammer out. You know, it's honestly not a bad shout. I think I'm gonna. Might as well, right? Try to. It depends. It depends. Okay. Let's see what this Crushing Hammer gets. If it's heads, or if it's tails, I'll chase down another hammer and try to get an energy off Charizard. It's tails. Alright, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show off the Pidgeot, the infinite deck loop in this. So we're going to get Pidgeot here. And you know what? Mimikyu kind of destroys their board as well. But for now, I really want to limit their energy in play. I think that'll help us the most. So I'm going to try to be a little aggressive. And I'm going to take my last Crushing Hammer. And I'm going to see if I can go 3 for 4 with these hammers. You know, see if they're for us. They're not. 50-50. Can't complain about a 50-50. We were blessed before. I got to rock with the double tails now. I got to take my medicine, and that's cool. That's cool. So, I don't totally know what to play here. I'm between playing Snorlax or another Ogerpon. I think I'm just going to put a Snorlax down for now. And then I can instant charge. I don't need to Night Stretcher. Because what? We've lost a couple Snorlax, but I don't really need them yet. I like Penny. I like Eri a lot, actually. You know what? I think next turn we'll probably... Actually, it depends what they do. If they don't have a way to get Bibro out of the active and they have to like instant charge or something, 100% Xerosic Machinations. They're going to Arven. I'm curious to see if they play 2 Switch. Or if they're going to go for like another Duskull play. Duskull would be pretty solid. Because, you know, it keeps putting us down and lower in prizes, so Iono becomes less useful. But they're going to take Buddy Buddy Poffin, which is whatever. Don't really care. I'm curious to see what they're searching for. They played Arven, so they're not playing Turo. If they had a Switch, I feel like they would have took it off Arven, unless it's already in hand. So I don't know what else they're going to do, to be honest. Oh, you know what? Something I forgot to do, though? Put the handheld fan on Ogerpon. That's alright. I'll do it this turn. But this is where, like, this deck kind of thrives, in, like, this mid-game portion right here. Our opponent's got 14 cards left in their deck. We're just trying to run them safe deck out. They're making their hand nice and small. So, let's see who they take with this Ultra Ball. They're thinning hard. They're thinning like crazy, which is not how you want to play against Stall. Against Stall, you want to play very slow, very collected. You don't want to play any cards unless you absolutely need to. Like, you want to do the bare minimum to coast through the game, I think. And they're taking Pheasantipity. That's interesting. Huh. I mean, I guess it's got a decent attack. You could start sniping Rotom, but for 3 energy is a lot for Charizard. So I'm actually very surprised about that. I think here they are going to instant charge. Okay, I was going to say, if they don't instant charge, I'm going to Eri. But they have 8 cards in hand. I'd love to put them to 3. So maybe we could penny up Rotom at this point. Right? We've got a decent enough hand. And I don't like that. Oh, no, but I do want to Xerosic Machinations, because then I can't do that. So let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's see what they can do. Let's see if they got anything in their hand that is insane. I'm hoping just the fact that I'm taking out so many cards with this means if they Iono, they won't stack their deck as much. This supporter is insane for Stall. Oh my gosh. It's like a walk in the park, dude. Oh, it's a big hand you got there. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to play judge, not going to play Iono. I'm just going to tell you to get rid of the whole thing. I don't want to see it. So what they get rid of? We could check here. They got rid of, oh my gosh. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy, but still, they got rid of a whole bunch of cards. So, you know what? While I have the chance, I might as well just hold the hand, instant charge. I'll probably penny next turn and just take Rotom off the board. I just think it's a liability at this point. I don't really need it. I could Bravery Charm it, because then it escapes KO range. It escapes 2-shot range from Pheasantipity, but as long as they're attaching energies to Pheasantipity, they're not setting up B-Barrel to attack or something. Like, I thought... I don't even know what I thought, to be honest. I don't know what the play is for our opponent. I'm very confused. There's 3 Pokemon that I don't hate being in the active spot. I really don't hate this in the active spot. I don't hate Rotom. Yeah, they Rotom again. Oh my gosh. Do I Eri? Do I just Eri, take a look what's in their hand, see what their vibe is? Maybe. I could put this here, so that they have to 3-shot Rotom with Pheasantipity. Because then if they try to 2-shot this, I'll just penny it, but that way I could keep using instant charge. Let's do that, and let's play Eri now. And let's just see what they got in here. I'll take that rare candy. And you do have Turo. I see. So they're going to take another energy with Pidgeot this turn and then play Turo. And then after that, I think we're golden. So let's use instant charge here. If they're using Turo, they're not using Iono. And all that means is I'll keep my counter catchers. So now that I know Turo is in fact in their deck, I've got to be a little mindful of that, but that's cool. That is totally okay. So yeah, here's the third energy coming down. They actually top decked it, so that's pretty cool. Respect to our opponent. They're going to pick B-Barrel up off the board. And I don't think they'd have any more switches at this point. So, I'm curious to see who they go after. Honestly, I feel like they have to chase down Snorlax right now, right? It wouldn't make sense if you went after Ogerpon. It wouldn't work. If you swing into Rotom, okay. Sure, I guess. You know what? They're down, like, all their switches at this point. Here's what I'm going to try to do. Because they play one switch, one Turo. I don't think our opponent plays anything else. Right? I could Accompanying Flute to see what's in the rest of their deck. What they got here. Pidgey. Just then a card out of their deck. Let's do that. They got Boss and Ultra Ball. Okay. So, you know what? This isn't going to work exactly like I thought. Because if they get Boss's orders, they could boss something up, retreat, swing a Charizard. But at that point, I think we're still fine. So, okay. This plays a little interesting, but I think it'll help us close out the game a bit better. Let's put down another Snorlax. Let's Penny up our active, just for now. They could Iono, but I'm not really scared of an Iono. I'm going to promote Snorlax. I'm going to Counter Catcher up. Actually, how many energy are in here? 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they do play 7 fire energy. They could use their last rod on it, which would be fine. I could just bring this up, they scoop. Okay, I was going to say I could bring up Pidgey and just sit behind a Pidgey wall. Since they have the 1 energy on Rotom already, I could see if they have another rod or if they prized it. So I was going to bring up Pidgey because I didn't know if they could get that last energy out of discard. But our opponent's just going to scoop. They had no more switch outs, and we had enough pennies and stalls and Snorlax stalls in play to just kind of walk us through that game. So that was a pretty straightforward, pretty easy number 1. Let's see if we can guarantee the positive record in today's Meta Deck Monday video and get a chip in match number 2. Welcome to match number 2, where we're up against United Wings, and this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a fun one for sure. It depends if we could get down a Pokemon like Squawk or something like that, but I like our hand enough. I think for now, we prize Rotom. Oh, that makes things difficult, doesn't it? Do we at least have Heavy Ball to get it out? We do. Okay, so we could Arven for that, but our hand is pretty dead. So let's just bench this for now. And maybe I play the handheld fan now. Because if they get an energy on that Murkrow, I could just move it to something they don't want it on. So let's do this. And we can at least Penny Loop a couple times. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting match. Not having Rotom in the deck makes this a bit harder. So, we'll definitely have to figure this out for sure. And we'll see what they get down. What hurts is we're not actually playing the Manpsych. They could pull Pokemon into discard. And I might regret that this game, but you know what else could happen is they just play Ditto and both our games stop working. So, that's definitely an option. And they're just going to pass here. Okay, so what is our play? I think for now we definitely want to Pokégear and take Arven. We definitely want Hisuian Heavy Ball, and I don't know what other tool we want. I could say, wow, we prized Cape and Charm. That could actually hurt in this match really bad. For now, I think I'm just going to take Force Seal Stone. And then we're going to play Heavy Ball. I really need to get Rotom out. Yeah, we prized. Those prizes hurt. Cape and Charm. We are getting punished this game for sure. So our game's getting a little glitchy there, but it's alright. We're hanging through, and we're going to instant charge, draw 3 cards. Maybe an Erika's could be nice. I don't know. It's going to be hard to really search. Well, what's nice at least is our opponent has to discard like their entire deck to do a lot of damage. So that could work in our favor, even though a lot of things can swing into us for KO, just because they have to discard so many things. So if we could just get one Pokemon in play, that's not ideal. Not exactly what they're searching for. That would be great. And I think next turn, just to try our best to do that, we might have to Force Seal Stone for Erika's Invitation, maybe. Depends how many cards they get in play. You're going to Insta-Flock, okay. They also don't play many energies, so maybe if they get rid of enough energy, especially double turbo energies, I could just boss up like Flamigos and stuff like that. I don't know. It's gonna be hard. This is gonna be one of the harder matches we play against. But I'm excited to see it. I mean, I am a huge United Wings, fan. So I'm curious to see how well it does. And they're playing Explorer's Guidance, which is a card I didn't play in my list, but I do really like overall. Just because they could choose for. Oh, Tatsugiri, give me that! Oh my gosh, no shot. No shot you took Tatsugiri. Oh, hold up. You have to discard it right now. If you don't discard that Tatsugiri, you're losing the game. And there's nothing you can do about it. Alright, here we go. Oh, maybe they're trying to bait us into it so they get Thort in it or something like that. Doesn't matter. I have to force their hand. If that's what they're trying to do, there's nothing I can do about it. All I know is I need to chase it. So we're going to take our Erika's Invitation, and we are going to go digging. Your hand is not safe from me. Give me that. What else you got in here? Not bad. Not bad. Eri could go kind of crazy. Take out Night Stretcher. Night Stretcher could be pretty good. But I think for now, we're just going to take this guy. Put it in the active spot. I like that a lot. And then we can instant charge. And I think next turn, Accompanying Flute could go kind of crazy too. If I could pull out like a Manaphy, something like that as well. Tatsugiri and Manaphy in play, deadly. Absolutely deadly. So they're going to keep their attracting customers. And the one thing I'm scared of is them playing like a Thornton or something like that. Because then they could just turn this Tatsugiri. I wouldn't be as scared as Penny or Turo because it'll have to go back to hand. But if they Thornton and put it in discard, I actually don't have a way to get this Tatsugiri back. So I am living on a prayer that they don't play the spice. The crazy spice like I was trying to do in my list. But you know what? They're halfway through their deck. They haven't taken any prize cards. So that's cool. That is fine by me. They're going to bench another Watchel. It's okay. Load your bench up. To be fair, it's kind of smart they're loading it up with the United Wings Pokemon that only cost 1 energy, but now their bench is full. Oh, you know what they can do? Attach Retreat Tatsugiri, Collapse Stadium. They did kind of force our hand a little there. Not ideal. Well played. Well played from our opponent. Tatsugiri will not be seen play. And sadly, they do have enough energy in their deck to set up the rest of their Pokemon. And Manaphy was in their hand from the top deck. That hurts. That hurts real bad. Okay. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? They can start swinging pretty soon. But they're not swinging hard yet. How many Pokemon do they have in discard? 2, 4, 6, 8. They're swinging for 80 damage. We could take a few of those. So, maybe I Misfortune Sisters. Between Eri and Misfortune Sisters, they've only got 5 cards in hand. I think for now, I'm just going to Misfortune Sisters, see what we can dig out. And don't mind if I yes. What else you got in there? Dartrix DTE? Alright, that's cool. Don't mind if I put a few item cards in discard for you. Don't think you'll be needing them. I don't think so at all. I think, they look pretty nice there. So, we're going to use Instant Charge. Crushing Hammer is actually going to be insane now that I think about it. Oh, we need to start looking for hammers. If we could get rid of even, 2 dark energy, they're not going to have enough energy to attack with everything. And there's a third Night Stretcher. Are they... Oh, no, they used it for a dark energy. Okay, I was like, wait, did they use that for a Pokemon? Because that would be bad. But no, there's the third Night Stretcher, and they're just going to pass again. So we are going to try to flip as many hammers as we can. Top deck hammer, there it is. Here is our win con. Run 'em drive energy. Nope, tails. Fake card, fake card. Throw it in the trash. We don't need it. We like this hammer more anyways. This hammer's our friend. So what did I tell you? This hammer's our friend. I know they got an energy in hand. That's fine. They could keep it. I want to Pokégear. See if I could take up a... I'll take an Arven. I will gladly take an Arven. What do I want here? What do I want here? Maybe this and... I don't need another hammer for next turn. Just hold on to it. Literally just hold this hand and we're perfect. I love this hand right here. So we're going to instant charge again. Sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. What do we want to do next turn? Probably Eri. They got 7 cards in hand. It doesn't seem like they're doing much, but I know I have 2 Eri in hand, which is kind of nice. I know they have an energy. I'm curious to see what else they got cooking in there, because they're not playing anything. So they have another Tatsugiri. You know what that means. And 2 energy. We need Artazon and Erika's Invitation ASAP. I don't even know if Artazon's in the deck, to be honest. Don't matter. All I know is this has to come back, and let's take a Misfortune Sisters while we're at it. I like these. And then we can try to Cyllene back a Pal Pad. For now, we're just going to instant charge again. And we got Artazon. Okay, we're close. We're close. Now all we need is Erika's invitation. And we could bring back a second Tatsugiri. And I don't think they play 2 collab stadiums. That would be wild. There's no way, right? Like, you have to be playing in, I don't know, something else. Something different. But we'll see what we get. Maybe Pokégear wouldn't be bad. Maybe I could Arven for Pokégear. And just try to dig a little deeper. I like that a lot. I like that a whole lot. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get Pokégear, and let's just thin the deck as much as possible. And then we'll instant charge. I don't remember if Iono's pressed, actually, so we got to be a little bit careful. Maybe I should check before I start instant charging like crazy. Actually, we have Pidgeot and a tool, and we've got Iono, so we should be okay. Alright, yeah, we're chilling, we're chilling. So let's hit done. We don't need any other Pokemon. I'm just going to instant charge, try to draw into it. Since we play Iono and Pidgeot, I'm not super worried about decking myself out. I say that. Famous last words, but that's fine. That is fine. I think for now, the more I can do to get this Tatsugiri, the better. And we got 2 Pokégears. That was the best top pick I could ask for. But never mind, we got it off the first, so I'm just going to hold the other one. We're going to play Artazon, bump their stadium. I'm then going to play Erika's invitation, since I know this little booger's in their hand. And I'm just going to chase it down real quick. Chase it down real simple. Honestly, I don't need to play anything else. I kind of have everything I want in my hand. So we'll just pass. There's nothing else I need to instant charge for. I don't want to start putting myself on the ropes of making sure I can loop stuff every single turn, because I really want to make sure that I can be as aggressive as possible when just messing with their deck. And I want as much time to do that as possible. I've got Eri, I've got Misfortune Sisters. I want to use cards like that a lot right now. So they're going to put an energy onto Tatsugiri to retreat next turn. That's fine. Here's where I penny up Cornerstone Ogerpon. Promotes Snorlax. They should have retreated last turn. What else do I want to do? Maybe, damn, they concede. There it is. Yeah. Stall, man. That is Stall. So that's going to be match number 2. We guaranteed the positive record on today's Meta Deck Monday video. Let's see if we can make it 3-0 and take down our next opponent. Welcome to match number 3. We won the coin flip and are going second, and we open up with an absolute banger of a starting hand. I mean, I am loving this so much. So we'll see what we're up against. Honestly, I'm really praying it's not Lost Zone Tina with those Tina sleeps. I think that's just always been more or less an awful matchup for Snorlax, and it is Radiant Charizard. Alright, hey, that's fine. That can stay in the active the whole game. I ain't doing nothing to it. So, let's see what we want to do here. What is the play? It's accompanying flute. What they got in this deck? Charizard deck. They got Dusknoir. They got some Rot. Alright. Hey, solid deck for sure. For us, we're just going to Arven. We're going to take Nest Ball. I'm not going to sit done just yet. And let's go Bravery. I like the Hero's K play last time, but let's go Bravery Charm. Do we have a Rotom? We do. Do we have Heavy Ball in case I realize something is prized later? Don't know. We do. Alright, so, you know, we got a solid hand. We got a solid hand to start. I don't want to play Artazon. I don't want to give him any bench Pokemon if I don't have to. I think for now, we're just going to do this. We're going to do a little bit of this, and we're going to instant charge. See what they got. See what we got in our hand. Not bad. Honestly, the only decent cards in this hand right now, Xerosic, Machinations, and Pokégear. Maybe another Flute. Because if I could get like Radiant Charizard, Manaphy, and Rotom or something like that down, oh my god. If I could get 2 gustable cards that they're not going to attack with, that's going to be great. And our opponent seems to know how to play against all the best. They're not playing anything. They're leaving it entirely up to us, which is as much of a good thing as it is a somewhat problematic thing, because now we just got free reign to mess with them since they're not doing anything. And I kind of like Pheasantipity scene play. It's going to take a lot of energy to get that card set up. And it's not going to do much damage. It'll be pretty easy to just penny loop around that. So you know what? I'm going to put Pheasantipity on their bench. And then I'm going to Pokégear. See if I can get anything crazy. I like Misfortune Sisters. I like it. The more rare candies I could chase down right now, I think the better. So let's do it. There's 1, 2, and I could leave him Counter Catcher. It could be pretty useless, but they do play Dusknoir. They could take a KO and maybe put us ahead at the start, so I'll just put it in discard for now. And then we could instant charge here. I like that. That's good. They're down 1 rare candy so far, and that is phenomenal. love seeing Cornerstone Ogerpon in the hand. Definitely will bench that. Because I don't know how many Pokemon Charizard realistically runs that don't have abilities. And I don't see many Charizard lists at all playing a Canceling Cologne to do much. So they're going to use their Turo. Good. Perfect. Use it early. Radiant Charizard's still in the active, and that thing needs a whole lot of energy to attack. So, not scared of it. They're going to Ultra Ball. I'm really surprised that they turrowed up this Pheasantipity and not Radiant Charizard. Like, that actually blows my mind. That's insane to me. So, I definitely want to get another Snorlax out, just to be safe. I like having 2 Snorlax in play. And I'm also going to start threatening Cornerstone Ogerpon. Now I'm going to start playing my hammers, and the more energies off Charmanders I can get rid of, the better. Fake card. We didn't like that one anyways. That hammer was weird. It smelled bad. And so did that one. Both of them. Both of them need a bit more deodorant. I wasn't vibing with either. For now, instant charge. You know, just kind of let it rock. I like this hand. We got a little Eri going on just to see what the play is. What's cooking in their hand? I want to know. Your hand is my hand, bud. What you got in there? So I'm curious to see what they go Arven. Probably Ultra Ball or Candy, whatever they need to get Charizard EX. Or maybe a Switch card. Okay, Defiance Band, not bad either. So there's the Ultra Ball. They'll probably get rid of Defiance Band. It's not likely it'll come into play unless they get hyper aggressive with Dusknoirs, which is like whatever. But no, they're going to attach it to active, so maybe they will. Maybe they will. And they'll put another energy down. Alright, that's cool. And pass. Alright. Yeah, I definitely want to see what's in their hand. I don't know what they got in there, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm going to put this guy here. And let's Eri. What the... You have another Turo? Yeah, good night. Good night. You got 1 rare candy left, buddy. That's so insane. That is so insane. That is one of the most insane Eris I've ever done in my life. I had a feeling that if they Arven for Ultra Ball, they had rare candy in hand. But hey, that's a harsh way to go. So they're gonna Turo up their Radiant Charizard. Did they get their last rare candy in play? If they did, that would be crazy. They're gonna Ultra Ball away what? Radiant Charizard, definitely. And Boss, yeah. So I think we're gonna see what their top deck is. I would assume they take Charizard EX. It's going to be pretty hard, actually, because now we lost 2 Pokemon that were probably 2 of the best boss, like, stall targets we could, which are these. But you know what? If he evolves this guy into, like, Charizard, what's stopping me from going Cornerstone Ogerpon? Literally nothing. And by the time I'm worried about this Snorlax getting KO'd from a Charmander, I'll just penny it up. If you happen to kill it with Charizard EX, awesome. That just means Cornerstone Ogerpon's going to cook. And they fail the Ultra Ball. So they did not want anything off that. That's cool. That is totally fine. I think with the hand like this, what do I want? What do I want? We got Pidgeot, we got a tool, so we should be able to loop alright. I think for now I just want these guys. I'll play the flute, I'll hold the rest. And I don't hate another Charizard. Actually, you know what? I could take another Charmander, because hear me out, what are they going to do, evolve it? You don't have enough rare candies. Use your Charmeleons, those have abilities. What do I care? And let's just go instant charge. I want to look for Misfortune Sisters or stuff like that. I think that's just going to be our best bet at this point. If we could take out their last rare candy before they could play any of them, that would be insane. They're going to rod back what? You got to save those for energy, buddy. Wait a second. You're going to rod back what? Radiant Charizard? Pheasantipity? Put him back in the deck. Alright, hey, that's fine. That is totally fine. And they're going to Iono, which, hey, that works for me. Because we got more cards in our deck than they do. We just proved that. So now we're a little ahead of the game. And honestly, I don't hate Christian Gamer here. I don't really want to Xerosic Machinations here either. Machinations. I'm not super scared of their hand. I think I'm just going to rip hammers. And there's one. Alright, perfect. Put that energy in discard. You got maybe 1 or 2 rods left. Did you use both Turos? You did. There's no way you played 3 Turos or 2 Turos in a Switch, right? Only 1 hammer this game. That's a bit unfortunate. Let's Pokégear for... I don't hate Erika's invitation. Some tells me Manaphy's in their hand. I got a little feeling. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know which I want. And they scoop. That's insane. I had a little feeling that there was something I wanted to grab, get my little paws on, and there it was. It was everything they didn't want me to see. Welcome to Stall. So that was a pretty straightforward 3-0. Stall's insane right now. You know, if you need a solid deck to try and annoy your opponents, yeah, this might be it. It seems to have a lot going for it right now. So, you know, definitely consider it. Put it on the list of things you might want to do. You know, if you had a bad day at work or school, or you just having a rough time and you kind of just want to put people down their size on TCG Live, play some Stall. Play some Stall. Very annoying deck. A lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far into the video, please, why not subscribe at this point? I mean, you've already made it this far. Clearly, you don't mind listening to me yap. That being said, thank you so much for all the support. If there are any decks you want to see in the future, please let me know in the comments down below, or my Discord server in the description down below. Follow me on like Twitter, maybe you can DM me there, whatever you guys want. I got a whole bunch of links down there, and if nothing else, just let me know in the comments what you like, what you want me to do in the future. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Stay epic. Peace.